So I gotta say, I'm always personally excited whenever we get a new AZ album. And I can vividly remember back in the 90s and 2000s when AZ was in my top 5 to 10 rappers of all time. And many years later, AZ is still this consistent and super slept on artist who has never lost his flow or skills as an MC. You know, he's still one of the greatest. Now, this new project, truth be told, it did not have as big of a rollout as Do or Die 2, but I think most AZ fans knew that he was dropping, and they likely saw his recent interviews where he had talked about the project. But truth be told, it's produced entirely by the veteran New York producer Buckwild of the legendary Diggin' in the Crates crew. Buckwild and AZ have done music together since '95, so this pairing in 2023, it makes sense. This project contains just 11 songs lasting a brief 29 minutes, but with that being said, let me just go ahead and hit y'all with this track by track breakdown. The intro, it just has some motivational words over this cinematic beat, which was fine. But the first actual song is Reintroduction, and it's backed by this busy, up-tempo soul beat that I honestly feel is just serviceable. Sure, the energy is there and AZ is lyrically going off, but this instrumental just felt a little stale to me, and it just didn't hit as hard as I feel it should have. AZ is lacing heads with $1 billion worth of game. He's speaking on being cut from that crack era cloth. There's some fire wordplay here like Gucci Souls, Baton Rouge, Boosie Mode, rapping dudes trying to do with the Fuji Soul, Cool G flow. So as a whole, the bars and the flow was dope, but just an okay beat to set it off. Track 2, Don't Go Astray. It finds AZ doing some motivational game and dropping some cautionary jewels. This is backed by a psychedelic boom bap beat. This dusty and it has that signature Buckwild sound. To open with, AZ speaks on the current state of the rap game. He raps, in '96, it was Pac hits. Fast forward now, just listen to Lock spit. Know a few industry dudes that's not shit. Men with bitch tendencies flip and they gossip. What's going on? Then he hits us with the jewel. If a sucker can't cross you, they come at you sideways. The jewel is be cautious who you call your compadre. There's actually a lot of quote-worthy lines on this track. I also dug perks don't work with the wordplay. That's obviously a shot at the current drug use in hip-hop. And deaf, dumb, and blind, and they wonder if guns kill us. So I feel Don't Go Astray is likely to be an underrated track. Next is one of the greatest, and it has this low-key sample-based instrumental that works. AZ is giving us an ill history lesson on his own come up in the music game and how that coincided with the rise of many greats from that 90s era. Some sharp lines include, Wu was winning, Nas hit like a comic, my true beginning, Illmatic, I got it honest, out of bondage. Spit it and they responded, life's a bitch, I can't forget I came from bondage. But he also speaks on some setbacks that he faced later on in his career and how he persevered. Label fold, I was forced out in the cold, put on hold, had the Janet Jack control. Pac's death was deep, but Biggie, it took a toll. So I really dug, the introspective and autobiographical nature of this track. Immediately after is amazing with Moo Fresh, and it has this sleek, luxurious instrumental from Buckwild that is one of the better produced tracks so far. AZ did his thing with some reflective and inspirational bars, but Moo Fresh, I feel, had the MVP verse. Now, I'm not familiar with this woman's work prior, but she got my attention with this one. So overall, I do have this as one of the standouts. After this is the short but punchy track, Still Got It, which has this rugged soul sample production that's stylistically a little similar to the opener, but it's better. Here, AZ is flexing some lyrical wit and coming through with that confidence. He is in his bag, reminding us that he's still that fly dude who still bodies beats, he still gets money, and he stays out the way. Altogether, I found this to be another solid song that I have no issues with. Following this was the early single, The Go, and you will instantly recognize the drums from Biggie's Dead Wrong. And the additional sample that was used does sound familiar, but unfortunately, I still found this beat to be slightly underwhelming. You know, it was just another one of those not bad, but serviceable type of instrumental. But AZ was coming correct verse-wise. The following lines really stood out. Hustle through the pain, to put it plain, I'm Big Daddy Kane and Lil Wayne. Obviously with this, he's saying that his music is timeless. You know, it will resonate with you whether you're a fan of 80s hip-hop, or if you like more contemporary music that fans of Wayne might like. Yeah, not a bad song, but I do wish I liked the instrumental for this just a bit more. But right after is the gem. This is why, and it has what I would call a definitive AZ sounding beat, or should I say AZ type beat. I just love the suave, slow rolling 1980s styled production and the slick Rick vocal sample pops. This is that grown man, get fly, get money type of record, and AZ is in his element. Some sharp lines where I can see it more clearer, a ghost-faced chef, but I'm more like RZA, Fendi Goose rapper for all that white winter. In hindsight, Iron Mike was my mentor. Yeah, I can see this being a fan favorite, and it really doesn't get any more AZ than this track. Right after is the banger Go Time with Pharoah Monch. It has this tense orchestral backdrop that feels DITC inspired, if I'm honest, and also like it could have been dusted off from the 90s. I wish Pharoah Monch had a verse, but he sounded good on the hook, and of course AZ killed it with the more energetic flow he used. The second to last song is How We Get It with Fat Joe, and it's a mid-tempo New York anthem. The production is minimal and moody, but it is one of the better Buckwild beats in my opinion. It just has more of that knock to it. And both Fat Joe and AZ have dope verses. Fat Joe actually has some quote-worthy bars. I know it's really easy to hate on Fat Joe these days. He's kind of like the brunt of all jokes on social media, but the man was spitting here. He said, never weaponless, always effortless, came out in 93. I'll show you what the exception is. Fentanyl flow got him leaning in arenas, Banksy levels, fuck dudes can never see us. And this project wraps up with Respect Minds, which has this funky blaxploitation style beat. It's a hard-hitting closer that's straight to the point with skillful braggadocio. So overall, I'm gonna give this project a rating of a 3.5 to possibly 4 mics. As I said earlier, the production was serviceable throughout, but the lyrics were fire. Buckwild is indeed one of the New York OG producers who I have a lot of respect for. And I feel he did a decent job altogether. But I couldn't help but feel at the same time that we have heard better from him in the past. As far as AZ's performance was concerned, he was razor sharp all the way through. His flow still intact, and it's obvious he hasn't lost a step in the voice department. The hooks were fine this time around too, which was an improvement from some of them found on Do or Die 2. I'd have to say the features were also strong, although they were kept to a minimum. So yeah, as a whole, I do think that this is still a solid AZ album that most AZ fans will likely be pleased with. But I do think the production could have just been a little more hard-hitting. That being said, who are some producers that y'all would like to see AZ work with next? Personally, for me, I would like him to tap in with Static Selector once more, as I felt they had great chemistry in the past. But for a next album, if he did get multiple producers, I probably would like the following. Imagine if the following producers each contributed a track or two. I'd throw in The Alchemist, Pete Rock, Static, Buckwild, Derringer, and Hit Boy. But yeah, let me know your thoughts below. Oh, I'd probably throw in V Dawn too. My favorite tracks include Don't Go Astray, one of the greatest, Amazing, Still Got It, This Is Why I Got Time, and How We Get It. But let me know your thoughts on this album in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but as always, it's peace and blessings. AZ, truth be told, one.